We've spent 3 years on this program telling you about the craziness in California, so it's pretty hard to surprise even us. But they've done it. New proposed laws in San Diego could mean jail time for people who get water on the sidewalk while watering their lawns. For washing a car in a driveway, that's a no-no. And for failing to clean up after your dog, you wicked criminal, you. And that's in your own backyard. All rise. Judge Andrew Napolitano is here. He's the author of this book. It's a good one. Theodore and Woodrow, my name is mentioned in it. All right, this is serious stuff.
That's the reason for buying it, of course.
Yeah, absolutely. Page 278. Now, look.
We've been through that.
Now, come on, this is serious stuff here.
Yes, this is serious.
San Diego, if you repeatedly allow dog poop in your own backyard, not part of a homeowner association, no, any backyard, you allow that, and you will be fined, and you could go to jail. What is going on?
Well, this is a government that doesn't recognize any limitations on its own power. It's a government that notoriously spends more money than it takes in. I speak of the whole state.
Yep.
It's a government that has egregiously overregulated and overtaxed the people there. It's created a horrific anti-business environment, and it's a state that people are leaving in droves. So I could be sarcastic and say, what do you expect? But the constitutional analysis is this. First of all, your backyard is private property.
Exactly.
So unless there's aggressive harm going on there to someone against their will, or harm emanating from there hurting somebody else, the police have no right even to consider what you're doing there. Secondly, the Constitution not only requires fairness, it requires proportionality, meaning the punishment must suit the crime. And the essence of crime is harm. So who is harmed by splashing water on the sidewalk? Who is harmed when you wash your car on a Saturday?
Oh, I'll tell you.
Who is harmed when the dog relieves itself and creates fertilizer in your garden?
Come on, Judge. You know the answer to that. Who is harmed by this? Who is harmed by that? The planet. Mother Earth.
All right, well,
is harmed.
that is a tenuous argument at best that I know that they'll make. And in fact, you know, we talked about this before Barack Obama was reelected, when we speculated what he might do if he were stymied by the Republicans controlling one house of Congress. He still controls the EPA, and they can still write regulations just like these characters in San Diego, and they can fix their own penalties. And there's not much that the Congress can do about it.
Well, this water on the sidewalk and the dog poop in your own backyard, that is done for environmental reasons. That's the rationale for this law.
Even if one could seriously say that this is harmful, and it's a big even if, one could not seriously say that jail time or a $100,000 fine or the police traipsing through your backyard is an appropriate or fair use of government power.
Is it symbolic? Is it designed to say, hey, watch out, we don't really want you to do this. We're threatening this big deal, but we won't really do it.
It's symbolic of governments using their power to intrude into private property and private decision-making rather than the things that governments are supposed to do, which is preserve our freedom.
The environment is the best excuse of all, isn't
Yes,
it?
it is. You know? Yes, it is.
That covers everything.
The next thing you know, they're going to say exhaling is harmful to the environment. Let's see how they correct that one.
No, they'll never go that far. Not in America with the Constitution.
Presumably, what, do they care about the Constitution?
Well, look, you're our constitutional scholar, and you keep bringing us examples of where the Constitution is being violated, at least in spirit, right?
Yes.
You keep doing
yes,
it.
I mean,
but nothing happens, Judge.
Right, you're right.
Nothing
happens. They continue to get away with it. I would hope that the first person who's fined because the police jumped a fence without a search warrant to go in someone's backyard, or the first person who's fined because they splashed water from watering a flower onto the sidewalk, challenges the constitutionality of this
wait,
nonsense.
you're missing the point. You're missing the point. That person, the first person to be fined because a cop has jumped over and searched for the dog poop, okay, that first person has to hire a lawyer.
Yes.
That costs money.
Yes.
That's $5,000, $10,000 just to represent you,
right.
for
So
heaven's sake.
it might very well be cheaper to pay the few
Of course you will
fine.
pay the few $100s. Of
Right.
course you will.
Well,
Everybody
not everyone will. Some people believe that these things ought to be challenged, and I just hope that one of the people that they implicate in this has that viewpoint. Because the legislature will do whatever it wants. And sometimes the courts let them get away with it, but sometimes the courts do defend personal liberty in a free society.
Have we got anything to add from the passion?
I'm worried about this whole thing creating a neighborhood police force. Where your neighbor's counting the poop in your backyard.
Good one. You're spying.
I mean, just this kind of
well,
stuff.
Well, if the neighbor can report your poop in the backyard, could they report what you're doing in your basement, which is not harmful to anybody? Where will this stop? Is the point?
I think it's just because they're broke. This is just a way for them to be fine, like what Stuart said, an easy way to make money, kind of like when they give the speeding tickets when you're 5 over.
Maybe. I think it's the lunatics who've taken over the asylum.
For sure. And it's a full-time legislature. It shouldn't be a full-time legislature.
Can I take that back?
No, please don't.
I'll say it. The lunatics have taken over the asylum in California.
I second it.
Page
All in favor, say aye.
278 of Theodore and Woodrow.
Yeah.
It's a good book, Stuart. You should read it.
278.
278. All right. You done?
Yes.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Enough's enough.
Yeah, all right.